in this late night that we are seeing in the aftermath of India's ICC World Test Championship loss, there is a report that has come out on ESPN Cricket Info that the World Cup schedule, India's schedule in the ICC ODI World Cup of 2023 has reportedly been drafted. Remember, the official schedule for the World Cup will potentially be out in the next 2 to 3 days. The BCCI has still not released the official fixtures and the venues where the matches are going to take place, but an official announcement is expected to be made in the next couple of days. Remember, this is according to a report that has been circulated that the draft for the World Cup schedule has been prepared, and here are India's matches that will be held. Remember, India will begin their campaign on October 8th against Australia, and India will play Australia in Chennai. It is a repeat of the 1987 World Cup in more ways than one. India beginning their campaign against Australia. In that, Australia won by 1 run against India. But the biggest news is that India will take on Pakistan in Ahmedabad on October 15th. Preserve that date. India versus Pakistan on October 15th at Ahmedabad. It is more or less confirmed that Ahmedabad is going to be the venue where Pakistan will be playing. Remember, Pakistan had expressed a lot of concern about whether they want to play in Ahmedabad. They had expressed the option of Chennai, Hyderabad, or Bengaluru for that matter. But now, if the situation is to be believed, this is the situation now that Pakistan will play on October 15th in Ahmedabad. Then, if we have to look at it, India versus Afghanistan will happen on October 11th in Delhi, followed by the next big one, India versus New Zealand on October 22 in Dharamshala. After Dharamshala in October 22, India will take on England at the Ekana Stadium in Lucknow on October 29th. Then they will play a qualifier. Whoever wins from that, West Indies, Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe or Ireland, whoever makes it from the qualifiers, they will play one of the qualifiers in Mumbai. India's next game against a major nation is on November 5 against South Africa in Kolkata. And then after that, India will play a final league game against one of the qualifiers. So, 2 qualifiers, whoever makes it, West Indies, Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe or Ireland, whoever makes it, they will be in the race. So, it is the same format as the 2019 ODI World Cup where you saw that every team played each other, 9 league games in total, and that is why now the same format is going to continue for 2023. So, what are the venues? Chennai, India versus Australia. Delhi, India versus Afghanistan. Pakistan, India versus Pakistan in Ahmedabad. India versus Bangladesh at the MCA Stadium in Pune. Then you got India versus New Zealand in Dharamshala. On October 29th, India versus England in Lucknow at the Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee Stadium, Ekana Stadium, Lucknow. Then you got one of the qualifiers in Mumbai. Then November 5 against South Africa in Kolkata. And then the final league game is against a qualifier that will be in Bengaluru. So Chennai, Delhi, Ahmedabad, Pune, Dharamshala, Lucknow, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore. These 9 venues are going to host India's matches. So basically no Barsapara. There will not be any other match that will be held. Nowhere around Dharamshala. There only one game is at Dharamshala, that is India versus New Zealand. Best chance for India to eliminate many years of ICC pain here. So why has the BCCI not yet released the schedule? Remember, they had made the announcement that they will officially announce the schedule after the end of the ICC World Test Championship. The ICC World Test Championship was over. It ended with India losing by 209 runs. Remember, the BCCI is currently relaying most of the outfields, and they're also preparing the infrastructure upgrade for many of the stadiums. Now, the main reason that they have delayed the announcement of the schedule is probably the Pakistan standoff. We do not know in what circumstances this has happened, But with the ACC all set to give the go ahead for the hybrid model for the Asia Cup, Pakistan then has now agreed to come to India and play at the venues with security. So, India versus Pakistan will be in Ahmedabad. Pakistan's remainder games might happen around Hyderabad, Chennai, or Bengaluru. So, in that sense, this is the schedule. No venues have been announced for the semi finals, but the final will be played in Ahmedabad. That is the one confirmation that we can give. The opening game will be between England versus New Zealand in Ahmedabad. The final will also be in Ahmedabad, and Ahmedabad will host the blockbuster India versus Pakistan clash. So, in more ways than one, Dharamshala this time is getting a lot of good games. For example, Australia and New Zealand will take on each other in Dharamshala. India and New Zealand will also play in Dharamshala. And then Ahmedabad will also host another blockbuster match, which is Australia versus England. So basically, if you want to look at it, the venues that are benefiting the most outside of the tier 1 cities is Dharamshala and Ahmedabad. Dharamshala in particular is getting some very, very good games. And if you have to look at it, it's one of the best way. Kolkata matches, Anish, it is reported according to the World Cup draft schedule that India versus South Africa. Major match for India will be India versus South Africa on November 5 at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. So that is a major update that we have got in that sense. So Chennai will host some of Pakistan's games, but the blockbuster is India versus Australia. Remember, Australia had beaten India in the last encounter in Chennai. And Harkirat Singh, no matches in Mohali. Mohali has been excluded from the list. So out of the 12 venues that have been prepared, Mohali is not in it at all, which is a big tragedy, because Mohali in 2011 had hosted the semi-final of between India versus Pakistan, and it proved to be a blockbuster. So Parag Bhatia, if you want to know the Delhi match, it is India versus Afghanistan. India versus Afghanistan will happen on October 11th in Delhi. That is the current situation. And no match, Bengaluru, little bit disadvantage India's batting track, Anish. But again, Bengaluru might, India are hosting one of the games in Bengaluru, Anish. If I'm not mistaken, according to the draft schedule that is there, yes, you're right. No matches in Bengaluru. But yes, Bengaluru might host one of the semi-finals if it's there. So, Bengaluru, if India make it to the semi-finals, one of the matches might be held there. Remember, semi-final venues have not yet been decided, but October 15th is the major date because India versus Pakistan. Finally, it seems to have been agreed upon that with the ACC giving the go-ahead for the hybrid model, India will tour Pakistan. And I mean, Pakistan will tour India for the ODI World Cup. So that is the way we are looking at it. No such update on the Raipur or Ahmedabad or the Hyderabad matches, Anirudh. So that is why even Sports Hub, no updates on that. We will get to know what is the official schedule in a couple of days. This is just a draft that has been accessed by one of the media organizations, and it is a credible one. So that is why we are going ahead with this news at this late night hour. Yes, but then it's a very important news that India versus Pakistan will happen on October 15th in Ahmedabad. India versus New Zealand in Dharamshala, India versus Australia in Chennai, India versus England in Lucknow, and India versus South Africa at Kolkata. So this is the current situation that we have. We will be keeping up to date and we'll be tracking all the latest developments as there on the ODI World Cup. Remember, two major events now in cricket. ACC, whether the dates are final and whether the hybrid model has been accepted, official go ahead maybe by tomorrow or day after. Same time, ODI World Cup will also announce its official schedule because the ticketing blocks have not yet started. And once the venues are announced, only then ICC can start its ticket distribution system. So one hopes that the ODI schedule is announced, the World Cup takes place without any hassles. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so that you know when we go live. And don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Thank you.